Hello, here's a short lecture about physical development in middle childhood. You will see two females, children, posted on the screen. These two kids happen to be about 2 years apart, both in the middle childhood development phase. And so I want you to see any differences and similarities that might come to mind. Right? So one is a bit taller, they've got different body shapes kind of expressing themselves. This you might not be able to see in the picture. I happen to know these children, so I know this. Lucy, the one on the left, has, I think, all of her permanent teeth but 3 or 4, while Ruby, the one on the right, probably only has, she has the reverse. She probably only has 4 permanent teeth. Talk a little bit more about teeth in just a minute. Physical growth is slow and regular throughout middle childhood, although large individual and ethnic variations exist. Because of improved health and nutrition, children in industrialized nations are growing larger and reaching physical maturity earlier than their ancestors. In middle childhood, the bones lengthen and broaden, and permanent teeth replace primary teeth. In the brain, white matter increases. Gray matter declines as a result of synaptic pruning, and the accompanying reorganization and selection of brain circuits lead to more effective information processing. Children from economically advantaged homes are at their healthiest in middle childhood, whereas poverty is a predictor of poor health. Overweight and obesity have increased dramatically in both industrialized and developing nations, especially in the US. Family-based interventions aimed at changing parents' and children's eating patterns and lifestyles are the most effective approaches to treating childhood obesity. Other common health problems of middle childhood include nearsightedness, middle ear infection, bedwetting, asthma, and unintentional injuries. During middle childhood, children build on basic biologic concepts that they have previously acquired to expand their knowledge of illness. However, without effective teaching, school-aged children readily generalize their knowledge of familiar health conditions to less familiar ones. Therefore, it is important to supplement teaching of health-related facts with other efforts, such as reducing hazards and coaching children in good health practices. Gains in flexibility, balance, agility, force, and reaction time underlie improvements in gross motor skills during middle childhood. Fine motor skills also advance. Children's writing becomes more legible, and their drawings show gains in organization, detail, and representation of depth. Marked individual differences in motor capacities continue to be evident. Games with rules become more common in middle childhood and support emotional and social development. Increasingly, children participate in adult organized youth sports, usually with positive effects, although critics argue that youth sports overemphasize competition. Rough and tumble play and the establishment of dominance hierarchies are aspects of children's interaction that reflect our evolutionary past. U.S. elementary schools have cut back on recess, despite evidence linking school-based physical activity to improved academic achievement. Physical education classes help ensure that all children have access to the benefits of regular exercise and play. Many experts believe that schools should offer more frequent physical education classes, emphasizing enjoyable informal games and individual exercise. Some states have physical education standards that is, there must be so many minutes per week devoted to physical education. And some schools are playing around with different recess times and amounts and frequencies. Sometimes people put physical education and recess together. While they both have physical aspects to them, they have different purposes. And so it's important to make sure that those purposes are being served, if you will. Recess really allows for children to develop their own games and own rules for games. And often these are games that they maybe have learned in physical education, but they get to, change the rules a bit. For example, they can move the free throw line if they're playing basketball or something along those lines. Thank you for your time.